Not everybody is lucky enough to be successful. A lot of people, they're subject to their environment. Life is tough. And I want to share with you why you're not successful and why you're never going to be successful. So this video is probably going to be tough for you to digest because you're in a situation right now where you're like, dang, I want to be successful, I just don't know why I am successful. And I'll give you the number one reason why you're not successful, okay? Now, first of all, let me give you a little background about myself, okay? I'm a diesel mechanic. I spent $35,000 on a education to become a diesel mechanic, and I spent tens of thousands of dollars on tools and on service trucks in order to properly do my job and run my business. And the reason that I was able to earn $150 per hour was because I was willing to make a sacrifice. And so this is what separates people who are successful from people who aren't successful. The people who are quote unquote successful are willing to make a sacrifice. They're willing to give up things that they don't need, or maybe they do need, but they're willing to give those things up in order to have something better. And so, for example, I had to make a sacrifice. I had to sacrifice 9 months of my time in order to go to school to become a diesel mechanic. I had to sacrifice having friends, having family, and having what they call a normal life in order to go out into the oil field and work out there and make really, really good money. And I had to sacrifice a lot of things in order to get there. But what I realized was that even though I made all these sacrifices, I wasn't going to where I wanted to be. I didn't want to be stuck in this perpetual state of having to contribute my time and energy for money. And so I decided that it was time to make some more sacrifices. And those sacrifices that I've been making since not being a diesel mechanic anymore have been some of the hardest sacrifices that I've ever made. They were harder sacrifices than the sacrifices that I had to make in order to go out to the oil field and to be a diesel mechanic and to make $150 an hour. Because I was making really good money, I drank a lot, I smoked a lot of weed, and I even did drugs. I was making good money and I was spending good money. And so, even though I had made certain sacrifices to get to where I wanted to be, I was indulging in other areas of my life. And so, going through this path that I've been on over the last 2 years, starting an online business and working towards the laptop lifestyle, I've had to make sacrifices. I had to give up alcohol. I had to give up weed. I gave up drugs a long time ago because there's a lot of things that we enjoy doing that are not beneficial to us. We do things for the endorphin rush or the high that we get from doing those things, like watching TV or binge watching Netflix or whatever it may be. A lot of those things that we do, we do them for the way that they make us feel. And so right now, if you feel like you're not in a place that you want to be, you got to ask yourself if you're willing to make the sacrifice. Are you willing to give up things that you no longer need or that are no longer serving you in order to live a more fulfilling life, or in order to be more satisfied, or in order to achieve goals that you haven't been able to achieve yet? And so if you've answered yes to that question, you're willing to make a sacrifice, then I'd like to give you a copy of my book, Unleash the Beast Within, talking all about these computers that we carry around in our pockets and how easy it is to share our message with the world and get paid for it. And so I left a link in the description below, and I encourage you to go ahead and grab that and give it a read. It's only like 20 minutes, but it's going to change the way that you think about the world that we live in today, and hopefully hopefully, if you're the type of person that's willing to make a sacrifice, this book is hopefully going to be exactly what you need in order to change your mind. Because the only thing that's separating you from where you are right now and where you want to be is the way that you think about it. So go ahead and grab that, give it a read, send me an email, let me know what your thoughts are. Remember, your time is valuable, so stay motivated.